Hey, welcome into the Four Peaks Mini Bar. It is another edition of the Two-Man Game. I'm Espo. He's Flex. How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. Good.
I'm excited for today's topic because we talked a little bit about on the show the other day on Wednesday in post game, but I wanted to get a little bit more into Grayson Allen.
Yeah.
On the show, I said I think he might be the Suns MVP. I think I may have overstated what I really meant in that, but to me, he's the ultimate I got you guy.
Yeah.
And
I love that.
And you know about this because you're that kind of guy in general. It's the kind of guy that when the team needs something, he does it. Yeah. Whether it's hustling, showing that effort on defense, the passion, hitting a wide open three. He had a game where he had 14 assists this year. Like, it's a little bit of everything that he's able to do when other guys can't or are out because of injury, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, he's like the ultimate substitute teacher. That's what he is, man. Yeah. I said this earlier in the year. I think I made a comment. I said, I think Grayson is the fourth star of this team. And I was, comparing it to him and Nurk and some other guys that were kind of filling the void. I will tell you this. I'm going to upgrade that. I think he's like he's the 3.5 star. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know what Grayson is great at? Grayson is the ultimate I got you guy. And Grayson is the guy that says, okay, we got the big three. If they're all playing terrific, I'll be the guy you need me to be. But if one of y'all decide to take off or not have a good game, Kevin, you're not playing great today, I'll fill in. Grace, Book, you don't got it going, I'll fill in. Same thing with Brad Beal. So he's been terrific, and I loved your point. I think people may have taken it out of context, but I know where you were getting with it. He might be the most valuable on this team in regards to the role he plays, because without him, this team's in trouble, man.
Yeah, well, and you can count on him to play that role because what we heard, the big three, the gravity is going to change everything. The only guy that's consistently leveraged that to his advantage and done it well and stepped up for this team this year is Grayson Allen. Yes. And that's more of what I meant. And I saw the team release their Dan Marley Hustle Award stuff. And people like, there's nobody on this team that deserves a hustle. Grayson Allen deserves a hustle award. This guy has done every little thing that you could ask for.
How could you say? I don't get that. I don't think there's a guy even close. Right. It's Grayson Allen it's a landslide. Grayson Allen is everything you want. He's a coach's dream. As a coach, Espo, you always had those players that they weren't the best players. Like, they clearly were not the most gifted or most talented or most athletic. But when you went home and you looked at the tape, you're like, that guy's a coach's dream. Like, he just does a little bit of everything good. And he's reliable. He's accountable. He's available. Yeah. He takes advantage of all the opportunities you said. And that's the difference between Grayson and a bunch of guys around the NBA that don't get – in the NBA, you don't get many opportunities to take advantage of a situation quite like this. And boy, has he taken advantage of it. I'm happy. I'm proud of Grayson Allen, man. Without Grayson Allen, this team is nowhere near as competitive as they can. Well, they've been. They've 11 games over 500. I like to say if they didn't have Grayson Allen, they'd be a 500 basketball team.
Oh, they're probably fighting with the Lakers and the Warriors to try to figure out things. Because if instead of Grayson Allen, that's Eric Gordon in the starting lineup, it dramatically changes everything. And that's not a knock on Eric Gordon. It's just an indication of how well Grayson's played. And we talked about when guys aren't there or having a rough night. I looked up the stats.
Okay, I like it.
When Book isn't playing, Grayson shoots 48.8% from three, averages 14 points, 5.5 rebounds, 3.7 assists. That's in 14 games. Okay. When Beal doesn't play, 42.9% from three. It dips, but at 13 points, 4 rebounds, 2.8 assists. Okay. So right around his averages. Very consistent. But then you look, Kevin's out.
Okay.
Right?
Tell
and
me
it's
what
only
that
been
is.
4 games.
Tell me what that is.
He's shooting 55.6% from three, 16.8 points, 3.5 assists, 3 rebounds. Wow. Right? In his last 5 games, this guy has had 21.6 points, 3.6 assists, 2.6 rebounds, and 1.6 steals. That's what he's averaging per game. Wow. And that last 5 is very much where Coach Frank Vogel said, well, it's playoff time. Right? Yeah. He's locked in.
Yeah.
He's doing the things that this team needs on a massive level. And he's, 5% up from his career average in field goal shooting, 7.8% up on his 3-point field goal shooting, and 6.9% above his career average in true shooting percentage. This guy is doing every little thing that you need this team to do. And that's what I've loved about watching Grayson is he's trying to make the job of Devin, Kevin, and Brad easier because we knew they were going to get open looks, but he's converting them at an insane level.
It's insane. Espo, the difference between, and the kids I've coached, I've always told them this, the difference between a great player and a good player is consistency. It's that simple. Talent can be the same, but how consistent are you? Those numbers are amazing. I'll tell you why they're amazing. Because there's a perception that Grayson Allen, the reason why he's having the year he's having is because of the big three. But we can fight back and say that's not true. Because in every statistical category, whether it's Devin missing, Brad missing, or KD missing, he's putting up equal numbers or better. And so it's not the big three necessarily opening everything up. It's him taking advantage of the opportunities given. Dog, 50, 40, 90 is the holy grail.
And it's in play for him.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's free throws right now. I think he's at 2% below or 1.5% below hitting that. And that's hollowed ground. That's Steve Nash when he did it. Everybody was like, oh, my God.
Right.
Like, and Grayson Allen is on the verge of that with, you said it right before we started recording. It's almost 50%, 50%.
There you go.
50, 50, 90.
That's what I was about to go to. Yeah. 50, 40, 90 is the holy grail. I saw Larry Bird do it. We growing up as a shooter, you're saying, man, 50, 40, 90, man, that guy is an all-time great shooter, okay? Man, this dude is tinkering with 50, 50, 90. That's insane, man. And here's the thing. He does it with reliable defense, ball handling, so many other things that you ask Grayson to do that don't jump out in the box score. How many times do they give him the ball to bring it up to free Book up or to free Brad up or take pressure off of them for possessions? Defensively, he's not the lockdown Gary Payton guy, but he's the reliable help defender. He knows where he needs to be. Sneaky good defensively. And so I can't say enough about Grayson Allen. I'll tell you what, you know what's kind of bothering me about this? With Grayson is, and it's not bothering me, but I mean, he's starting, and I'm glad he's starting. He's going to get paid this summer. But if Grayson were a six-man for this team, he'd be the runaway six-man of the year.
Yeah.
And I hate that there's nothing to do you get where I'm going with this? I hate that there's nothing to give those type of guys to express how good they've been. Because he is playing better than any six-man in basketball, but he just happens to be that fifth starter. And so, it's not going to be recognized as much, but he'll get recognized this summer, brother.
I mean, this is no pun to his hair, but, baseball has a Silver Slugger award. Yeah. I feel like they should have some kind of Silver Shooter award where if you hit certain percentages,
I love it.
You get awarded for that, right? Because what he's doing is going to be even if he doesn't get to 90 in the free throw shooting, which I think he will, even if he doesn't, that is an unbelievable season from all three levels there. It's been crazy. And I saw this stat, and it's 7 times or more hitting, I believe it's 8 or more three-pointers in a season. It's him, it's Steph, it's Clay, it's Dame. That's nuts. He's tied the Suns' single game record 3 times with 9 3-pointers.
Say those guys again.
I believe it was Steph, Clay, and Dame.
Come on, man.
Steph, Clay, and Dame.
Come on, Espo. If it walked like a duck and it quacked like a, don't call it a dog. I mean, this dog. Those are 3 of the greatest shooters you'll ever see in the history of professional basketball, and for Grayson to be. That number doesn't register. When I kind of heard that last night and I had to triple check, I'm like, hold on, he's had 7 games this year?
It's 7 or more games
with 8 3-pointers.
8 or more 3-pointers.
Dude, there's people, Devin Almighty Booker, we love him. But I mean,
he can't get past
he can't get past 6.
Yeah.
This guy's done. Yeah, that's insane. I think he'll get the 10 this year. At some point, he's going to get the 10.
They wanted him to on Wednesday night for sure.
Yeah, they were trying
against Philly. When you look at it too, and you look at the list of greatest Suns single game performances, it's like Grayson Allen. There's a handful of other guys, including Landry Shamet, which still is bizarre, but. The list is peppered with a few other guys, but the top of it has Grayson all over it, and that's in one season.
Not even a full season, 60-something games.
And we talked about it. He's over 180 now. He's got a chance to catch Quentin Richardson for first all time. I think it's almost a done deal that he'll finish second. I believe it was Raja Bell had 205, which was second.
Okay.
I think it's a guarantee he'll at least have the second most threes in Suns single season history.
Well, let's talk about that. So Q Richardson's number was 220. What was it?
I think it was 226.
Yeah. So I mean, we broke down the math yesterday. I think Grayson's got maybe 3 a game. 3 a game for the rest of the season. But this is a guy that we know can explode for 5, 6, 7, 8 in a game. So I think he shatters that. Honestly, I think he shatters the Quentin Richardson. But tell him what you told me yesterday. I think that's the number that people need to understand this. Well, tell me the shot attempt number.
Roughly would be Grayson would do it in about half of the shot attempts. Quentin Richardson had over 600 3 attempts that year. So really, he was letting it fly. It wasn't efficiency. It was just pepper everything, right?
Volume, yeah.
Where Grayson Allen's doing it with efficiency. Like, it's crazy the efficiency he's doing with it. And I'm not saying Grayson Allen's a star. And I'm not saying that he'll shoot this the rest of his career, but I'm simply saying you need to respect what you're seeing this year and how impressive it has been from this man. And even if he regresses the mean a little bit, he's going to be a valuable part of what you're trying to do the next few years, and maybe even into that next iteration come 2026, whatever that looks like, if he keeps shooting like this. Because we know in today's NBA, there's nothing more valuable than a guy that can go on a heater from beyond the arc. He's a difference maker.
It's a 3-point league, Espo. It's a miss and make league, and you have the best make guy in the league. Am I tripping? He's number 1 in 3-point shooting, correct?
I think he's second.
And I guarantee you, whoever's first isn't shooting his volume.
No, and look, he's been around at the top all year long too. Yes. So it's not like he went on a hot stretch and gained all this. This has been consistently throughout the year. So.
You shoot 300 threes. You shoot 50, 50, 90. That's not an aberration. That's a heck of a shooter who's not doing it on a small sample size. And I'm sitting here, I'm starting to wonder, Espo. I mean, you got to put him up there now. Take away the stars. You have these players scattered around the NBA. I'm not afraid to say that right now, Grayson Allen can outshoot damn near any of the premier shooters in the league. And I'm saying throw the stars in there too. That's not, those numbers, they're not lying to you. That's an insane amount of attempts and an insane amount of efficiency. And another thing I want to make clear to people about Grayson Allen is something we talked about. You'll have guys. I think last year Damian Lee was a good example, right? Damian Lee shot a very good clip from 3, but his minutes weren't elevated. The attempts weren't elevated.
It was in small sample size.
Very small sample size. This is ginormous. This is an NBA starter who's playing damn near 30 minutes. He's close. He's got to be somewhere close to high 20s with the volume he's doing it and everything else he brings to the table. That's mind-boggling numbers. That's one of the best shooting seasons I've seen in a long time from any damn player.
Well, he is flexed. He's setting the pick, rolling the hoop. I'm S-Paul. I'm lobbing it up. It's a 2-man game. We'll talk to you next time.